T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, you know when you're trying to do one thing and then it comes up something that makes you change your mind and you're gonna do another thing, and then the first thing you were supposed to do and now you're doing the other thing, even though you were planning to do the first thing that was supposed to be the main thing of the day. Daddy humor. Even though I'm not a parent. But anyway, yeah, I was gonna do a little bit of a follow-up on my previous video when I showed off my flash photography gear. But I actually got a message on my phone, so it turned out that 4 rolls of medium format film that I had sent into Uppsala Photo Company for having developed, they were ready, so I actually went out and got them as yeah, there is a little bit of a backstory about this, and this is a little bit of customer service and a little bit of a shout out to Uppsala Photo Company, which are a store here in Uppsala that do analog film processing, and a huge thanks to the employees of said store, because it had been a little bit of a mix-up, it seems, and they did everything they could to correct it, and I applaud them for it. The thing was that I had gone for almost 2.5 weeks ago. I went into the store with my rolls that I wanted developed. No problem. They put it in the envelope, gave me the receipt and the tag for the for that particular bag they had put them in, and so on. And I thought, yeah, I'll see you Friday then. This was basically a Monday or Tuesday, and usually if you go in with them in the beginning of the week, they're supposed to be done on Friday. So actually, that Friday I worked an evening, so I couldn't go and get them, so it actually was almost half a week later, so surely they should be done actually. And I went in and gave them the receipt, gave them the tag, all of it, got the bag, and yeah, said goodbye and went home. But when I got home and actually opened the bag and had prepared a scanner and all of that, it turns out that all the rolls were still undeveloped. They were still in the original wrapper and so on. I had even put tape around 2 of the rolls because they were, lomography 100 ISO medium format. So I have had one of those rolls unroll on me years back because of the poor glue that is used to seal it. But anyway, I phoned up that store directly and asked them, okay, I have gotten the bag back, you threw the receipt in the trash because we thought everything was fine. I come home and open the bag and they're not developed, they're still the way I left them. How do we proceed? But there was no question whatsoever from the store. They basically told me that come in with the bag and we will sort this out directly. So I said, yeah, I can't come in today, can I come in tomorrow with it? Yeah, the person I talked to, who was also apparently one of the lab technicians, no problem whatsoever. They speculated that for some reason my bag had gotten into the already done pile instead of the pile of bags that were supposed to go to be developed. But anyway, I go into the photography store and talk to the clerk, and no problem whatsoever. They just took it back in and had them developed. And earlier today I got a message on my phone that said that they were ready for pickup, and they were, and this time they were developed. So yeah, I put it like this. It's these kinds of mistakes that basically prove that we are human. So human mistake, honest, nothing to worry about, no harm done, just that I had to wait a little bit longer, but no problem whatsoever, dealing and really good customer service. So if you want to, support your local small businesses for photography, and if you're in Uppsala, give these guys a try, because they're pretty good and knowledgeable about what they are dealing with. Yeah, so that's a little bit what this video is about, and I'm gonna do a montage because, yeah, the images I took with these rolls were actually taken with the Hasselblad 500 ELM, and I brought everything, including the kitchen sink, basically, when I went on this little photo trip. I didn't have any way to mount a action cam or anything on the camera when I went and did this, so everything is basically just the still images that I took with it. So unfortunately I don't have any B-roll for this photo walk, but more in the future maybe. So yeah, basically what I used was the Nikon, I can't talk anymore, tired. Anyway, I used the 500 ELM with a tripod that I brought with me, and I basically had all four of my Hasselblad lenses, the 50mm, the 80mm, the 150 and the 250. So, and I also think I think I even brought the 2x teleconverter actually, and yeah, and what I also like to use with something like the Hasselblad and so on, that I know is a little bit quirky and so on. Let's see it. No, this one. Yeah, the Kokin filter holder. I have two of them. This one is with a threaded adapter for the 50mm that has a threaded adapter, and the other three, the 80, the 150 and the 250, have Hasselblad's bayonet fitting. Let's see, what are they called? HB50. So this is actually still a Kokin filter holder. It's this has a ring for actually my Mamiya RB and RC system that uses what is it, 77 millimeter filter threads. So I actually have a 77mm to Hasselblad HB50 converter, which means that I can use the same filters for both my Mamiya system and my Hasselblad system. And then I have this that is a, what is it? It's a 67mm filter holder for the 50mm. So yeah, the difference between these two Kokin filter holders is that this one can take 3 filters and this one can take 2 filters. So yeah, interchangeable naturally. And some of the filters that I took was this little cheap as chips, you know, pack of different gradiated color filters. You know, you have some different colors here. I think you can even, yeah, maybe see something on the back wall and so on. Yeah, but anyway, these ones are fun to use, and you can get some really wild effects. A little bit of hippie-esque. I mean, it's 2019, so it's 50 years since both Woodstock and Apollo 11. So yeah, some color filters for the hippie vibe, and the 500 ELM for the NASA scientific vibe. So good vibes all around, in my opinion. But anyway, let's continue on then, shall we? Yeah, so you're gonna see some images then. I'm currently in the process of scanning the rolls with my Canon scanner. I think I don't remember the name of it off of the top of my head, but I believe it's the Canon CanoScan 9F9000 Mark II, if I'm not completely mistaken. It's a really brilliant scanner anyway, because I usually go up to 4,000 DPI when I'm scanning medium format film. And from my prior trip to Stockholm, one of the images was this one, which was taken with a 50mm on the bridge between Skeppsholmen and the National Museum. And basically, when I looked at the TIFF file for the 4,000 DPI, I can basically zoom into the, or rather, I can crop into the other side of the river there and still see details on the docks on the other side. And that's basically I would guess 500 to 1000 meters, so basically a kilometer away, and I can still make out a fairly good detail. That's really cool. So good scanner, good camera, it's all a process altogether. But anyway, let's continue now. I can do a little bit of a short introduction to what's gonna be coming soon. Well, there is a system in the Nikon DSLR family that is not that much talked about, and I think it's also present in the Speedlight family, but still I haven't found that much information about it, and I stumbled upon this a little bit by accident by seeing a now old video about National Geographic photographer Joe McNally, and that's a guy I know Zach Arias is very you know, he's a big fan of him basically. So Joe McNally, he is a brilliant photographer, famous for using speedlights and flash photography altogether, and he was doing this bit piece with Nikon to show off the Nikon CLS. And what is Nikon CLS? Well, it's an acronym that stands for Creative Light System. I also think Mercedes also have a model line that that's the CL. So CLS. Yeah. Anyway, going off topic here. The young Nuo, and I can never remember the model number of this, the YN568EX, and this little flash unit that was not featured in the previous video because it was still in the mail, the SB600, which I basically bought on a whim. I know that a lot of people diss on this one, and some people swear by them, some people diss on them. I just wanted to give them a shot. The SB600 is actually part of the CLS system. You can see it with the little sign right here that they are part of it. And it turns out that the D7200 can also be interfaced with the creative lighting system. And it can be done so in two ways, and I have the cheat sheet prepared for the video I was supposed to be making, but it's going to be about, the Hasselblad instead. But anyway, it's going to be a little bit of repeat in a later one then. But before, when people were using one flash to trigger other flash, it was called that you had a slave flash and a master flash. So basically it was flash photography S&M for slave and master. But anyway, that was not PC enough. So yeah, because before you used PC sync cords, dry photography humor there basically. But anyway, now it's actually called that you have a commander or control flash commander, and then you have remote flash it. So now it is a C and R, commander and remote. So that's a little bit of a photography in joke there basically, like Letterman would do. But anyway, it turns out that the D7200 can use its pop-up flash to utilize the creative light system. So in these D7200 you can have group A and group B and 4 channels of flashes. So you choose the channel and then the group. So for this one you can have 4 channels, and each channel can have 2 groups, group A and group B. I think the successor to the SB600, the SB800, also has a group C, because that was what McNally used in this video. I'm gonna put a link to that in the description, by the way. Anyway, that means that you can use the pop-up flash on the camera together with these 2 flashes and do some creative flash work actually. And I actually did a little bit of a testing of it earlier today. I actually took the Seiko automatic watch that I'm using. This is the SKK 009K2. So it's not the one that the the clockwork is not made not assembled in Japan, but still it's Seiko quality nonetheless. If it's good enough for Adam Savage, it's good enough for me. But anyway, the thing is, I used on the camera now I have, just for this shoot, I have the Sigma 10 to 20 mm f3.5, but what I used when I took images of the clock I'm wearing now, I actually used the Nikon 60 mm f2.8, which is a true macro lens, and the Sigma 105 mm 2.8, which is also a true macro lens. The only difference is one is 60 mm focal length and the other is 105 focal length. So the 60 would be a equivalent of a 90 mm macro on the D7200, since it's a 1.5 crop factor, and the 105 would be something like a 52 and a half, 152.5 millimeter focal length equivalent. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. The way I figure out crop factor on the D7200 is basically I take the focal length, divide it by 2, and then add that sum to the original focal length. So 60 divided by 2 is 30, 30 plus 60 is 90, means 90 millimeters. So 105, if you just take 100 divided by 2, it's 25, 5 divided by 2 is about 2.5, so 52 plus 100, well, basically 52.5 plus 105, yeah, you can do the math yourself. So yeah, anyway, that's basically all for me for now, and yeah, rain hurts a little bit, yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Uppsala. Anyway, it's about 26 degrees Celsius outside. So yeah, cheers. I think that's gonna be all for me for now, and yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit of the pictures taken with the Nikon, yeah, you can hear me, I'm a little bit tired. The Hasselblad 500 ELM from this spring photo shoot in Uppsala. Basically mostly ambient light using some creative filters. I used the color graduated filters, I used a circular polarizer, and I also brought some graduated and solid neutral density filters. But I think that's all for me for now, and as always, this is Tobias Bergstrom from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I'd like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. So take care from now on. Bye.